In this video, I will explain the 10 weirdest devil fruits in One Piece. These devil fruits are either useless, unsettling, or just abnormal. We'll start with the laundry devil fruit. Yes, laundry. And then later in the video, explore other unusual powers like the jacket fruit and many others. So stick around because we have a lot of interesting devil fruits to cover in this video. And let's get started with Suru, the power holder of the Woshu no Mi. This paramecia type devil fruit allows Suru to turn people into laundry. She is able to wash them and then hang them up like she is drying a load of laundry. Honestly, it's pretty strong because when she hangs people up, they're unable to fight back, but that doesn't save it from the fact that it is just pretty weird. The only time we've seen this devil fruit in action was at the Battle of Marineford, and it was only for a few seconds. This devil fruit is very unique, but that's also why it's in the weird category. Throughout this video, you'll see that there are a lot of paramecia devil fruits on the list. That's because Logia and Zoan-type devil fruits are pretty bland and straightforward, but paramecia is where all the spice is at. That's where the powers get creative and all the weird ones start to show themselves. So speaking of paramecia, let's go into the next devil fruit that belongs to Basil Hawkins. Hawkins is the user of the Wara no Mi, a devil fruit that allows him to create and manipulate straw at will. Now at first, that sounds pretty normal. The guy turns into straw, what's wrong with that? But it's the abilities this devil fruit has that puts it on this list. We've seen Hawkins become a massive straw monster and wield a straw sword, but he's also able to create these small little straw dolls that he stores inside of his body. These dolls are basically voodoo dolls that connect to other people. So if someone attacks Hawkins, that doll takes the damage and transfers that damage to whoever the doll is connected to, leaving Hawkins unharmed but harming the other person. We saw how this power can be used against his opponent when he told Law he'd be hurting his own crew. This devil fruit power combined with Hawkins' weird voodoo magic is the reason it's on this list. So that leads us into our next character, Charlotte Daifuku. He had the luxury of eating the Hoya no Mi, a paramecia type that summons a genie when he rubs his belly. Yes, you did hear that right. What kind of power is that? With that power, he may as well have eaten a smile fruit. It's like the same exact thing. When he uses this power, it's basically just a buff guy that is attached to his belly button that he can use to do his fighting instead of fighting himself. It's pretty odd, but I guess the one upside to this devil fruit is that he can make his genie like very big. We saw it almost as big as the Thousand Sunny at one point, but even then it can only travel so far away from you, so you're just always awkwardly standing off to the side rubbing near your crotch area while using this power. If Daifuku could summon a genie and then fight side by side with the genie, that would make this power a lot better. Instead, he has to continuously rub his body to keep the genie out there, so it's just not very helpful. Now we're gonna move into the next devil fruit, and the next one on the list is Treble's Beta no Mi. Honestly, I think this devil fruit is less weird than it is gross, but the fact that it's so gross is what makes it weird also. It's kind of a weird little double-edged sword. I just think it's nasty the amount of mucus this guy can create and how he can cover you in it, making you stuck. This stuff is even flammable, so Treble can pretty much turn it into napalm and burn you alive. There is a common misconception about this devil fruit that people think it's a Logia type. It's actually a paramecia devil fruit, and Treble tries to trick people into thinking he has a Logia power so he can get an advantage when fighting. So even though it is gross and weird, Treble is actually very smart with how he uses this. Looking at this image, you would think this is his body and his clothes, but 90% of it is actually just mucus that he colored and made look like clothing. This is Treble's real body. I don't know what's weirder, this devil fruit or the fact that he only wears underwear all day. Overall, Treble uses his powers very well, but unfortunately, that doesn't change the fact that his devil fruit is disgusting and, you guessed it, weird. Now the devil fruit at number 6 on the list is a person that Treble knows very well. It's the Hobi no Mi, the fruit that was consumed by sugar and allows her to turn people into toys. The reason this is on the list isn't really because of the power itself, but more because of how the power works. This devil fruit is a paramecia type, but doesn't act like other paramecias. Think about the other devil fruits in this video. Hawkins is a straw man, Treble is a mucus man, and heck, even Luffy is a rubber man. But instead of turning into a toy, Sugar is the opposite and turns other people into toys. Not only does she turn them into toys, but everyone forgets that they even ever existed. This fruit is absurdly overpowered, and we saw how Doflamingo used it, and honestly, I'm surprised Blackbeard and the world government aren't trying to get their hands on this devil fruit. At number 5, we have a very less well-known fruit, the Berry no Mi. This is another paramecia type that is wielded by this random marine named Very Good. Yeah. We saw it be used for a very short period of time in Enies lobby. This guy was a part of the Buster Call Marines and he fought Frankie for a little bit. The real reason this devil fruit is here is because it could backfire against him so easily. Remember when Buggy ended up as a super short person because his other limbs got taken and he was waddling around trying to find his limbs? Yeah, that could happen to this guy with any of his balls. At number 4 in this video, I have Trafalgar Law and his Ope no Mi. I wouldn't say this is super high on the weird scale from an outside point of view, But when you really think about some of the abilities this guy has, it gets pretty interesting. When he was first introduced, we saw him decapitate a marine in Sabaody, and we've also seen him remove hearts from people and even switch bodies of people, like Smoker and Tashigi and Punk Hazard. So knowing he can steal people's hearts, imagine what else he can do to a person's body. If you're a guy, he can literally steal your manhood. And that's all just one technique. I could ramble on about Lost Devil Fruit for an entire video if I wanted to, because that's how many different techniques he has, but that isn't what the video about. The video is about weird devil fruits, and Lost Fruit falls into that category. I think there's a lot of weird things Law could do with this fruit that have escaped being written into the story so far. So going into the top 3, the next devil fruit on the list, we have the Ato no Mi. And what do you know? It's another Paramecia type. The English name of this fruit is the Art fruit, and if you remember correctly, it was used by Giola of the Don Quixote Pirates. Dressrosa was just full of weird devil fruits, and Giola is no exception. She's able to turn both people and things into abstract art. For example, look at what she did to my boy Brook. In terms of power, this fruit doesn't offer much. By turning people into art, it does affect how they're able to fight back, so that is good. For a while, it actually seemed like Giola was going to take out both Nami, Brook, Momonosuke, and Chopper. She caught all of them off guard and pretty much beat them effortlessly, and if it wasn't for Brook, they would have been done for. He pretty much defeated her in one move. Another power of her fruit is that she's able to pretty much create her own abstract art dimension. By using large amounts of her art cloud, she can cover a wide area, and that's why at some point it kind of looks like the Straw Hats are in another world. And I hate how many times I've said this word throughout this video, but it's the best way to describe it. This devil fruit is weird. I just can't describe it in any other way. So that leads us to devil fruit number 2. And would you believe that we have a Zoan-type devil fruit making an appearance in this video? Not only that, it is number 2 on the list, and it's pretty high on the weird scale in my opinion. The devil fruit I'm talking about is the Tamatama no Mi, which belongs to Baron Tamago of the Big Mom Pirates. And the reason it's on this list is instead of being one specific animal like all other Zoans, Tamago goes through the entire evolution of a chicken. When we first saw him introduced, it was just a dude with an eggshell around him. Then thanks to Pedro, he was blown up and introduced as a chick, and it's pretty accurate, I'm not gonna lie. But then we see him go through one more evolution like Pokemon, where he turns into a big, bad, scary rooster. I think the concept behind this devil fruit is awesome, and the weird part about it is it just stands out from every other Zoan fruit we've seen, because none of them act like this one. It's just strange how Tamago's devil fruit works, and compared to the others, that's why it made it onto this list. And finally, we get to number 1. And unsurprisingly, number 1 in today's video has got to be the Jake no Mi. In terms of weird, it takes all of the boxes. This fruit was eaten by Kelly Funk, and it first made its appearance in the Dressrosa arc when we saw everybody battling in the Colosseum. The user of this fruit can control the person's body that they're being worn by and gain their abilities. So when Kelly Funk was worn by this other guy, he gained both height and strength. Without another person or creature, this devil fruit is pretty much useless because nobody would be able to wear you, and therefore you wouldn't get to use your powers at all. But hey, if you have a best friend that's willing to wear you, this devil fruit might be good. This is the lowest of lows with devil fruit powers, and I would hate to be the guy that gets unlucky enough to get this power. That's all for this video. If you want to see something like this again, make sure to drop a like and check out my other videos because I think you'll like them too.